Okay, we've just had the next Bitcoin flash crash. Within just a few minutes, Bitcoin crashed from almost $92,000 down to $87,000. I warned you guys, on Sundays, we always have to be extra careful, especially in the evenings when liquidity is already really low. But this time, the whole thing wasn't triggered by any kind of price manipulation from whales or anything like that. We have a very clear sign that this is coming from Asia. There are massive shifts happening here that triggered this sell-off. And we always have this issue. When something major happens on a Sunday, the only asset that's being traded and is still really relevant and available, so to speak, is Bitcoin. And that's why Bitcoin is always the first asset to get sold off here. Also, just to add, when I say Sunday, of course for you, it's already sometime late Monday night or something like that. That means I'm counting by American time, so it's basically Sunday. It happens in the evening, American time, and for you, it's already sometime during the night on Monday when the sell-off happens for you. Now, it's going to be really interesting to see if the stock markets react to this tomorrow as well. Maybe by the time you watch this video, Bitcoin has already recovered a bit. We also had a second interesting statement from Donald Trump. Some people initially thought, okay, maybe it's related to that because Donald Trump talked about the Federal Reserve. But my guess is that it actually has nothing to do with that. We'll take a look at that in a moment as well. Donald Trump here, especially in Japan, what's going on there? Guys, are we in a full-on bear market now, or what the heck is going on here? Let's take a look at the whole thing. Take just a second right now. Go ahead and smash the like button below for higher Bitcoin prices, for new all-time highs. We need your support now more than ever. And as a little thank you for your support, check this out, how awesome the moon looks up there. That's where we need to get back to. We need to go to the moon, not just drift around somewhere. I don't even know where we are right now. We've got such awesome news. So why is Bitcoin constantly getting sold off again? We've seen this happen so many times already. Just when we think Bitcoin might take off again, suddenly another wave of liquidation sebs. I mean, on the other hand, these are also good opportunities to buy back in. But we can see it too. Check this out right here. Here on the liquidation map, you can see that in the last hour, 210,000 long positions have been liquidated. In the last 4 hours, 400 million. And that's simply because, once again, traders were using too much leverage. They went long again, pulling out 10 times, 20 times, even 30 times leverage. What happens then? Then a macroeconomic news event comes along that triggers everything, basically causing uncertainty in the market. And let's take a look at what that was. So we can take a look at that in a moment as well. Here, Japan's 2-year yield hits highest since 2008 on rate hike bets. And that led to, as we can see here, someone else posted it, Zero Hedge posted it here as well. The Asian crypto dump is back. So Asia has pushed crypto down again. Not pumped, but dumped. We can see it here too, an epic inverted Valhalla candle, but unfortunately heading downward. I just hope that by the time you watch this video, we haven't dropped even lower. And to keep it short, the yield on 2-year Japanese government bonds rose to its highest level since 2008, and the yen gained against the dollar as speculation about an imminent interest rate hike by the Bank of Japan increased. And do you remember what happened last time when the Bank of Japan raised interest rates by 25 basis points? It wasn't just Bitcoin that crashed. Wasn't that also the Black Monday or Black Friday or whatever they called it? We had a massive sell-off across the entire stock market. Come on, since we already have the device here, we might as well ask the device now. Can you quickly summarize again what happened last time on the stock markets and with Bitcoin and the others? When the Japanese central bank lowered interest rates? No, wait, the other way around. When they raised interest rates by 25 basis points, that was also called Black Friday or Black Monday or something like that. A quick summary.
Yeah, I'll quickly sum that up. The last time the Japanese central bank raised interest rates by 25 basis points, there was on the stock markets, and also with Bitcoin, there was a pretty sharp drop. Back then, the media kind of referred to it as a Black Friday or Black Monday moment because there was such a sudden and strong correction. In short, even a small rate hike by the Bank of Japan triggered a real plunge back then, and that's basically the same pattern we're seeing again now. Yeah.
Now, I thought at least you'd give me a really good date. When was that? When was that weird last time? That was just recently. When was it?
Ah, I see. So you want to know exactly when the last time was that the Bank of Japan made such a rate hike, which caused that Black Friday-like crash? That was actually in December 2024.
Right, exactly a year ago. And now we're basically seeing the exact same thing happen again. And we just have to know, when the Japanese central bank raises interest rates, it really shakes up the entire markets. The whole yen carry trade gets thrown into chaos. That means Japan has basically been the world's biggest money printer for about 30 years, the largest printing press in the world, zero interest rates plus QE. A lot of people have always asked, how is it possible that Japan has such extremely high government debt compared to its GDP? They just buy up everything. The Japanese state bank, central bank, they buy up everything. And the thing is, the whole world is basically dependent on Japan because the entire global carry trade system relies on Japan's low interest rates. If Japan raises interest rates, it shakes up the global financial systems. So because Japan keeps its interest rates so low, a lot of countries have, for example, taken on debt in Japan or taken out loans in yen. And then with this cheap money, they bought assets in the US, for example, or bought other assets, big hedge funds and so on, huge amounts. And if the interest rate situation changes by just 25 basis points, suddenly this carry trade becomes less attractive. On top of that, we also have the issue that Japanese bonds are crashing because investors are fleeing. Zero Hedge also wrote here, Japanese bonds are puking. He wrote it here and also shared the chart showing how the interest rates are rising. And what happens then, because interest rates are going up here, is that we see a sell-off, since higher interest rates basically make old bonds, old securities, practically worthless. That means when government bonds crash, institutional investors have to post additional margin or they get a margin call. This leads to further liquidations, which pushes other assets down, and that in turn drags down the global markets. These are basically nested effects. Larger positions have to be closed out elsewhere. Risk assets, stocks, Bitcoin, tech are sold off to raise liquidity. That could also happen tomorrow when the stock markets open, that many investors actually sell off their risk assets, and basically to raise liquidity so they don't get margin calls, unless they automatically get a margin call as soon as the markets open here. The Nikkei drops, and Bitcoin always falls along with risk-off moves in Asia. That means it's very, very likely we can assume that the traditional stock markets will also continue to come under pressure here. Asian trading is illiquid, low volume, and every move is priced in more strongly. The yen is strengthening. Carry trades are imploding. For years, traders around the world have been borrowing ultra-cheap yen to basically, as mentioned before, buy the S&P, meaning the S&P 500, NASDAQ, Bitcoin, tech stocks. They buy every damn thing with it. The US has also benefited a bit from this, and Jack Mallers always talks about the yen carry trade. But now that might be unwound, which means selling stocks and Bitcoin to buy back yen. The result? Bitcoin dumps due to leverage liquidations. Asian traders trade with extreme leverage. Macro shock, risk off in Asia. Nikkei drops, Bitcoin tops. Bitcoin leveraged longs also get wiped out. Liquidations create even more downward momentum. As a result, Bitcoin drops by $4,000 within 2 hours. Sometimes even better, even faster. Or actually with $5,000 to be honest. Or even more by the time you see this video. And now the US Open is about to get absolutely wild because we have two effects coming into play. First, the markets here. Man, tomorrow is going to be insane. Actually, we have three effects to be precise. So the markets will basically be pricing in the carry trade blow-off. Then we have the end of QT. Wow, that just occurred to me right now. QT will officially end tomorrow. And now, so that means quantitative tightening. Actually, that would be a positive sign. I made another video about it. 48 hours ago, a positive signal could have happened. But of course, that's now being completely ruined by the fact that the yen carry trade is blowing up. And now, check this out. Now we have another clip here of Donald Trump talking about Jerome Powell's successor. And that's also going to be priced into the stock markets tomorrow. And then people are asking, Kevin has it, Kevin has it, Kevin has it. And then he says, I'm not going to tell you that. You jokers, figure it out yourselves. I have no idea. You'll just have to wait a bit longer. But he also said here, Powell is finally on his way out, and we're getting the aggressive rate cuts the economy actually needs. So he's definitely going to slash interest rates massively. That's the thing, because, and in the long and medium term, we just have the signals. QT is ending, potential QE is on the horizon, and interest rates are going down. Hased will probably be Jerome Powell's successor here, a Bitcoiner who's also hawkish, meaning he wants to lower interest rates even further. Yeah, it also says here, Trump has been hammering Powell for years over slow cuts, and now these slow cuts are about to happen. But the thing is, when unexpected things happen, like what's going on in Japan right now, it basically messes everything up. That's also something you guys need to understand sometimes. Everything has to do with probabilities. So for example, if you say, okay, QT ends, then at some point QE might come, and that's positive for the Bitcoin price. Yeah, of course it's positive for the Bitcoin price. But if some kind of black swan event happens, like the yen carry trade blowing up or something like that, honestly, I can totally imagine that things are going to stay tough for Bitcoin for a while, at least for the next 2 or 3 days. When something like that happens, all predictions, all models, everything you thought, even all the positive things, positive news in the background and so on, they all just go straight into the trash, at least in the short term. I can see right now the price is dropping even more while I'm making this video. We're not in the green anymore on a weekly basis. We're basically just breaking even. We just had this cool recovery rally and now everything's getting just wrecked again. I mean, on the other hand, screw it. Nothing changes about the long-term thesis. Bitcoin's still going to hit 1 million. Bitcoin is still going to hit 2 million, 3 million, 4 million. But we really do need patience. Right now, a whole lot of weekend warriors, bratwurst eaters, PlayStation players, soccer fans, and so on, basically all the dabblers are getting shaken out of the market. But if you want to take advantage of this buying opportunity now, I'll put a link below for 21 Bitcoin, where you can easily and securely buy Bitcoin. Cool, Bitcoin deal. We're still getting up to 20% off the fee when buying Bitcoin. Save up, see you soon.